Hey guys, Braided0 here, bringing you a quick video on gear score and how to quickly raise your gear score. I found a few tricks and tips that I wanted to give you. Not that many, just a few, because there doesn't really need to be that many in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Pretty much everything you do is going to provide some boost to your gear score. There are certain tips that can help you to elevate that, but for the most part, anything you do is going to raise that. The first tip that I would give is just on a basic premise is purchase up gear score for certain items when you have a lower gear score for that item than your overall collective. For instance, let's say your overall gear score is 50, and that means that most of the gear that's dropping for you should be somewhere in the 50 to 57 range, and maybe you've got some boots that are down at 45. Then go ahead and go back to a bivouac or go to the shop and purchase some new boots, even if it only brings you up to 52, let's say, or even 51. That 6 points is going to be pretty important. And most of the time I say this in regards to one, but most of the time you're going to have at least 3 or so items that are going to be a little bit lower than the overall average of the other items that you have. When you're under about gear score 70, items in the world should be dropping between about 4 to 7 gear score higher than your overall average, and missions should be dropping maybe even closer to about 8 to 10 gear score higher than your overall average, which if you've got some boots that are much lower, that can really lower the amount of gear score that you're getting from these missions and from these world drops. After about 70, this will slow down by a couple points. It really becomes much more of a grind after you hit gear score 70. The last piece of advice I would give is when you're on your map, you can actually choose the destination you go to based on what that destination will have. When you hover over each individual point, it'll show you exactly the loot that you can get from that destination. So choose accordingly how you want to move across the map, maybe based on the items that you need or even that you may want. And it'll even give you an idea of the rarity, such as high-end or advanced, or maybe even elite when you scroll over it as well. That can kind of help you to choose where you want to go on the map and get the most effectiveness out of what you're doing. And that's all I've got for raising your gear score in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Comment below if you got any questions or critiques or whatever you may have. And subscribe to the channel for further content in Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Thanks.